A very good afternoon to all of you. I welcome you for day 4, session 2 of AICT IST sponsored online refresh program on developing secure IoT applications. It is an immense pleasure for me to introduce our second speaker of the day, Dr. Gopal Pardesi. He is going to talk about the IoT with machine learning. Sir is an associate professor at Thadomal Sahani College of Engineering, Mumbai. Sir has completed his PhD from Mumbai University. Sir has more than 25 years of experience in the field of research and education. Sir has published books in the field of IoT, object-oriented programming, and computer network. He has published various research papers in reputed national, international journal and conferences. I am very sure this session will be a very useful session for us. Now I am requesting our speaker, please take over and start the session. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, very sorry because of some network issue. I'm joining late and I think around 15 to 18 minutes late. So let us jump on to the topic. I have been, first of all, I thank all the organizing committee members and all the related faculties from the Shah and Anchor Engineering College for inviting me as a speaker over here. This is my third session in this STTP or the training program. Previously, I had conducted 2 sessions, one on IoT with and cloud security, and the last one was IoT and machine learning. So today again, I have been assigned the same responsibility of discussing what is IoT and what are the problems with the IoT, and then how you can overcome this problem by using machine learning methods and all that, or machine learning algorithms. So let me share the screen. Yeah. So these are the 5 types, right? Okay. So these are the 5 types of IoT applications. So I was here. What is IoT and all that? So, and these are the 5 types of IoTs: consumer IoT, commercial IoT, industrial Internet of Things, infrastructure IoT, and then military IoT. Okay. So again, these are all simple things. So I hope you all are aware of this. We already started late, or I am late. So I'll just leave this part because I'll discuss most of the my interest will be in the machine learning, how machine learning can be used for IoT applications. Then what is tiny ML, what is tiny machine learning and all that. Since IoT and pandemic, you all are aware of this. What are the problems with the pandemic, right? So there are a lot of problems with the because of this pandemic. Now IoT has become our the involvement of IoT has increased because of this IoT. So this is one example I just wanted to share with you, that a lot of people they are on, because the IoT is said to be the pandemic is said to be is a blessing in disguise and all that, right? So a lot of people have faced a lot of problems and a lot of people have gained a lot of other things. So this is one example in front of you. Tata Communication IoT business has surged from only 200 millions to 1000 million, right? Another example, if I just want to share with, because in this Diwali I had been to Pune and all that, so I met one of my friend previously in March or before March 2020. He used to just supply some gloves to the hospitals and all that, but because of the pandemic, now there is a large demand for the IoT applications, right? For example, the temperature sensing machine, right? That infrared machine, then your gloves, and then masks and all that. So people have, he told me that he has earned around 4.5 crores during this 1 year period. Till now, because he has started his business 10 years back, he didn't earn 4.5 crores or 4 crores in the last 10 years. But in the within 1 month or 8 to 9 months, he has earned a lot. So that is the impact of this pandemic on the businesses and all that. And the IoT industry has also surged because of this pandemic, right? So now, what is OWASP and IoT risk? I think Saurabh sir, he might have discussed all these things with you. These are some of the risks, IoT risk and opens that OWASP, it is weak, disable, hard-coded password. These are all problems. For example, the password of my team ID, which has been supplied to me by Smita madam, is sakek@ 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all simple. We generally don't care about this, but this is very simple, right? It can be easily hacked by anyone. Insecure and unneeded network services. So these are some of the drawbacks or the risks of the IoT. Okay, I'll just because these are simple things, so I'll just go through this. Insecure ecosystem interfaces, because this I have whatever presentation I've done, that is for considering it is for 2 hours. So as I have been limited time to me, I have been allotted limited time, and that too again I am late. So I'll just skip this part. I'm very sorry about this. Lack of secure update mechanism, use of insecure or outdated components. Right. So almost all faculties are there. So I'm assuming that you all are aware of this. Insufficient privacy protection, insecure data transfer and storage, lack of device management. So these are some of the problems or the risks, right, which we carry in day-to-day life. Okay. Insecure default setting, lack of physical hardening. So these are some of the drawbacks of the IoT devices which are there in existence right now. And then these are the different as of attacks. My previous speaker, they already discussed about this. What is DDoS, right? I think Saurabh might have covered this. Authentication of the how IoT authentication is done. Then how problems with the IoT wireless networking. Then IoT data aggregation. Problems with the aggregation. What is bad mouthing, fake information. So I'll be concentrating more on the how machine learning can be used nowadays for making the IoT applications more secure, for making the IoT applications run very smoothly by using the machine learning algorithms. Right. So these were, so what is IoT? What are the problems with the IoT? Then what are the IoT security challenges? So what are the challenges? So these are some of the challenges. Why these problems are there? This is more technical, right? We are limited resources. So when you talk of any your enabled device or embedded device or any IoT device, see, everything is inbuilt, right? So my devices are embedded, right? You might have conducted today morning only I was there with one of my faculty member. I was conducting the oral examination of some IoT projects and all that. So you know what is Arduino, what is Raspberry Pi. Students give very funny answers and all that, because when you talk about Arduino board and all that, so they don't know whether it is microprocessor there on that kit or the microcontroller is there. And if it is a microcontroller, it is how many bit microcontroller. In short, it is an embedded device, right? You can take the example of a phone. Or any mobile phone, it is an embedded device. So what are the problems? The problems are there is a memory crunch, right? OS is not that OS which you talk of the your open source OS, the real-time OS or embedded Linux or embedded Linux, right? My OS is real-time. Traditional security solutions won't run. That is the basic difference between your IoT and IT. IT is much a bigger term as compared to IoT. Limited resources for security, right? We cannot download a very robust antivirus software on our embedded system. Those are some of the limitations. It is located outside of the security perimeter. You can take the example of any, say, any IoT device, for example, let's say wireless node or the wireless sensor node, right? So it may be located at some other position. For example, if you are going to Goa and all that, right? If you are traveling by that Konkan railway, then to detect the landsliding and all that, right? That Konkan railway, they have mounted a lot of sensor nodes over there to detect the landslide and all that. Now those are located outside the security perimeter. They are in the open air, right? They are the IoT devices. They will face a lot of problems over there, subject to physical attacks, right? Someone may damage the IoT device, subject to proximity attacks. So these are the problems with some of the IoT devices. The security perimeter is not there. Then unique use cases are there. Functionality is critical. Fully automated operation is there. It's difficult to maintain. Can't take the device offline for updates, right? You cannot take that node or that mod or that your IoT device. For example, you can take the example of pacemaker. If suppose the pacemaker is mounted, so we cannot say the patient, "Ek kaam karo, aapka pacemaker, just remove the pacemaker for 1 day. We'll send it for update and then again we'll fix it." So that is not possible. Then the life cycles are very long in the IoT devices. Okay, so these are some of the problems with the IoT devices. One is limited resources, right? So these are the challenges. Because of this, a lot of security issues are there. Second is security parameters. There are no security perimeter over there. Third one is a unique case. We cannot use a one IoT device for n number of applications, right? So they are used for specific application only. Means I cannot say that this is a temperature device, right? IoT based temperature device which can be used for measuring temperature, level, pressure, right? We cannot say like that, or we cannot have such a IoT device. Also, it has unique use cases. Then these are some of the attacks, dangerous attacks on IoT devices. Stuxnet, it has worm attacking PLC in the nuclear plants. You can see the impact of that. 2.5 million devices were affected. Then second one was Heartbleed in 2014. It exploded, almost 200k devices were affected. So just imagine the impact of all these devices. And the day before yesterday, I think it has come in the Times also that next year the cyber attacks, the impact of the cyber attacks or the amount involved in the cyber attacks, after every 13.6 seconds there will be one cyber attack. That is what is the analysis. It has come in yesterday or day before yesterday's paper. In 2021, because in 2020, a lot of people are sitting at home. The cyber attackers, they were also there. They were also free. So they got some very difficult, very fantastic or new ideas and all that. So that is how analysis has come. Analysis has come. Let's see what happens in 2021. Because 2020 हमने तो देख लिया बहुत. It was a very difficult year and all that, right? Difficult also for some people, or almost 90% people got affected, but 10% people they got advantage of this also. That is also there. We cannot see the only on the negative side. If you look at the positive side, doctors, medical professionals, they have earned a lot in this pandemic period. In fact, the hospitals, they have made billions or millions. So there are pros and cons, but these are some of the dangerous attacks on the IoT devices. So it has been projected that in 2021 there will be, after every 13 seconds, there will be one cyber security attack or the cyber attack, and the amount involved in that cyber security attack, that will be more than your Indian market. It will be more than the Indian market. So these are some of the predictions, right? So we'll also predict some prediction today by using the machine learning algorithm today itself. So these are some of the attacks, right? Mirai attack, 2016, it was a DDoS attack. So yes, some attacks were there in the previous 2018 meltdown spectre was there, targeting processors, memory access. If you remember 2 days back, there was some that YouTube and Google Gmail was not working, right? Then US accepted that there was some attack, there was some cyber security or the cyber attack on the Gmail and the YouTube. 2 days back, YouTube was not functioning for some hours. In the afternoon, it was not working. Same as with the Gmail also. Okay. So then what are the solutions or to these problems, right? So first thing, what is IoT, right? IoT is a part and parcel of our life. So we carry IoT wearable devices, right? Some on the hands, some on the legs, right? Nowadays, T-shirt has also come with IoT enabled devices. Okay. So then IoT has become a part and parcel of our life. But IoT has a lot of problems. So types of IoTs, IoT devices or IoT applications are broadly divided into 5 types. Then what are the problems with the IoT devices, right? So major is the security problem. So how can we overcome that? Now so these are some of the problems which were faced or which had happened or which had occurred in the previous years or in the history. So then what are the solutions to these problems, right? What are the solutions? So these are some of the solutions over here. IoT devices with built-in security controls. So we should have built-in security control. Again, we are saying that my device should be more secure. But again, the problem is that the resources are constrained or there are constraints on the resources. First thing is authentication should be proper. Second one is the booting should be secure, right? Update should be secure. Everywhere security should be there. Firewall, we should have embedded firewall. Communication should be secure. Data encryption should be there. So these are all big terms, right? I want this, I want that, right? Again, when you talk to that, when you come to the device, then we say that no, I have this device which has poor memory and all that, but I want all these security constraints. I want to add all these security constraints. So I want secure firmware updates, secure monitoring and management. So if you can do all these things, then only my IoT devices can be secure, right? Again, my IoT whatever IoT devices we have, they don't, what type of data we are talking about? We are talking of heterogeneous data, right? We have some data, one sensor who is sensing the temperature, other is sensing the pressure, third is sensing the level, right? And then continuous data we are receiving. So it is a heterogeneous data. So it is the job of the processor to process all these your heterogeneous data. That is one of the, again, bigger problem with the IoT devices. So what should be the properties of highly secure devices? So these are some of the properties. Basically, as per OWASP, these are the 7 properties. Hardware root of trust should be there. Defense in depth should be there. Small trusted computing base. Computing base should be as small as possible. It should be dynamic. So we are talking of the dynamic compartment should be there. Means if suppose one part of the your IoT device is damaged, one sensor is not functioning properly, then it should not damage the other compartments, or it should not damage the other components. So dynamic compartmenting should be there. Certificates based authentication has to be there. There should be some failure reporting. Renewable security should also be there. So these are some of the properties, right, of highly secure devices. Now we know what is hardware root and root of trust and all that. Okay. So machine learning and IoT security. Okay. So till now I just discussed what is IoT, what was covered by most of the faculty members or the previous speakers. Assuming that they might have not touched some of the points, so I added these in my PPT or in my presentation. So actual presentation starts from here. So what is IoT, background of IoT, drawbacks of IoT, can we make the IoT more secure and all that? Then what is the role of machine learning, right, or machine learning algorithms in making the IoT devices more secure? Now we know something about the edge devices or edge technology, right? So then edge technology and machine learning. Now when you talk about the machine learning, it is said that machine learning deals with large amount of data. Okay, and then the one of the that machine learning has one problem, that we are not talking of the heterogeneous data, we are talking of the data of only one type. So let us discuss this. What are the problems of the machine learning? So today I'll be discussing some applications of machine learning on IoT data. Okay. Then what is the difference between traditional versus machine learning algorithm? So these are some of the differences. First difference is, when you talk of the traditional, this one, human activity detection, machine learning approach, देखो कैसा है. So we in machine learning we talk of some model. So we test the model and then we train the model and then we go for testing the model. Okay. So these are some of the inputs: sensor, then data, then activity. In generally my traditional approach, what you do, we write some program, C program or C++ program or C# program, जो भी आप language use करोगे. In machine learning, generally Python is used. Okay. So these are some of the classes of machine learning. Machine learning, there are basically 4 types: supervised, then unsupervised, then semi-supervised, reinforcement learning. So number of algorithms are there. So then when you talk of the supervised learning, right, where regression, classification, okay, and so unsupervised, we have clustering, dimension reduction. So these are some of the algorithms of supervised learning, unsupervised learning. So regression is generally used for what? Used for popular prediction, weather forecasting, market forecasting, estimating life expectancy. So these are some of the applications of your regression. We'll discuss one application with respect to IoT, and then classification used for diagnosis, customer retention, image classification, generally for finding whether the person is having, say, by checking the X-ray, right? We can detect whether this person is having pneumonia or he is having nowadays corona, right? Or a person having whether he is having a blood cancer or breast cancer. All these things comes under your classification. Then similarly segmentation, customer segmentation. So that is done by this clustering. Dimension reduction algorithms are also there. Semi-supervised, we have for using the semi-supervised, we can do speech analysis, protein sequence, classification. So these are some of the machine learning algorithms. Okay, right. So these algorithms can be used. Now, can we use these machine learning algorithms for IoT data? Okay, so we want to see the relation between this machine learning and IoT. First, what we'll do, I'll just discuss the basics of what is machine learning and the different types of machine learning algorithms. Then we'll club this, or then we'll see how this machine learning can be used for IoT applications. Okay, so when you talk of the regression and all that, so this is what is the regression, how to estimate the price of a fruit in freshness, fruit if freshness is given and all that. So from this we can find the regression relation. Now what is regression? Basically there are two types of machine learning algorithms. When you talk of one is a regression, second is a classification. In regression, this we have studied in mathematics, right? Or we generally teach this to the students in maths. Linear regression and then the regression. So when we talk of the regression, so we talk of the linear regression and then the other regression methods. So what is there should be some relationship between the one parameter the other parameter. For example, the relation of the your atmospheric temperature and the use of your, let's say, refrigerator, or the temperature of your AC and all that. Nowadays atmospheric temperature is very less, right? So we don't need ACs or AC nowadays, right? But still, so we can reduce the speed of the fan also in Mumbai as compared to other city ka temperature. If you compare this with the Pune and the Nashik temperature, there the temperature is very less, so they don't use that fan also. But in Mumbai we have common thing, we use a refrigerator, sorry, we use the ACs and all that. So temperature of the AC, that depends on the outside temperature. So is there any relation between the outside temperature and the temperature of the room and all that? Yes, there is some relation. So that is how we plot the regression and all that. Okay, so y is equal to, if you want to talk in terms of equation, so y is equal to beta 0 plus beta 1x. So these are plus epsilon, where epsilon is the error. ऐसा regression का equation है. So I will not go into the details of that. I'll be discussing the regression term in very simple way. So this is what is our regression. So we'll get a linear graph over here, or the linear, I should get output like this, linear relationship between the freshness of the fruits and the price. If they are more fresh, then the price will be more, right? As the freshness of the fruit decreases, then the number of days increases, the price will decrease, right? So these are algorithm for the machine learning algorithm for regression. I'll explain this in short. Basically what we are doing, we are plotting the relation between the training data and the test data. So my output is y, discrete y output is y, and then by using that output, I'll be plotting the x with respect to y. So what is there on x-axis? Freshness of fruits. What is there on y-axis? The price. Okay. So I should get this type of output. Regression output should be like this. Now if you look at this, the y and the relation between y and x, you will come to know that there is a linear relationship between the input and the output, right? Some parameters or some data is not there near to this axis, linear axis, but most of the data is there near to the linear axis. So in that case, my accuracy may be poor. It shows that the accuracy is less, but there is some relation between the output and the input. So that is called as the regression term. Now while discussing the regression and the classification, a lot of doubts are there while conducting because I conduct these regular sessions or the regular seminars and the courses on machine learning and deep learning, right? AI, machine learning, deep learning. Last week only I was there with some of the MSc infrastructure, MSc AI students. They were from MSc Applied AI. They are doing MSc Mumbai University only, and their machine learning topic is over. Somebody has taught them machine learning. I just asked them, what is the basic difference between regression and classification? The students were not able to tell me the difference between this regression and classification. I don't know why. Because that is that. Now see, if you look at this, then you will come to know that there is a one-to-one relation between the output and the input. Then what are the parameters? So basically, when you talk of the regression algorithm and the classification algorithm, then it is said that the output of the classification algorithm is always discrete. The output of the regression algorithms is always continuous. So if we have continuous relationship between the input and the output, then we'll go for regression algorithm. If you have discrete algorithm, if you have discrete relation between the input and the output, means that if the data is not continuous, so in that case we'll have to go for the classification. Then what parameters are used for testing the accuracy of the model in regression method and the classification method. So we'll try to compare that. So what I meant to say is, okay, let us go ahead. So regression is basically a continuous process. So there is a one-to-one relationship between my input and the output. Which if I suppose that my room atmospheric temperature is randomly changing, abruptly changing. Just imagine. Sometimes it has reached to 40 degrees Celsius, then it drops down to 20 degrees Celsius. Just imagine. So in that case, imagine the output, right? Or if it is changing gradually, 20, 21, 22, like that. So then still there will be that I will have to, if my AC can detect the temperature, outside temperature, and accordingly it can adjust the temperature on its own. So then in that case there can be one-to-one relation, or we'll have to do the manual correction. आपको manually आपका AC का temperature आपको कम करना पड़ेगा by using the remote and all that, right? Right now, if my AC is there on 26 degrees Celsius, as my AC is on, it is at 26 degrees Celsius. Why? Because the outside temperature is more, outside temperature is less. But just imagine my outside temperature increases. Now, if my AC would have been smart one, so then it could have reduced the temperature on its own. Getting? So that is what is my smart AC. अभी हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, my refrigerator is smart. Refrigerator is smart. For example, Whirlpool. Whirlpool, I have paid 50K for the Whirlpool refrigerator, and in that he has written intelligent smart Whirlpool refrigerator. Now, how come it is intelligent? With technical people, we can say, oh, when we ask the this thing, that person, that salesman, he said that so इसमें AI है, it is inbuilt, AI is inbuilt over there. I asked him, how can we change? Can it detect the temperature on its own? Can it change the temperature on its own? For example, if the room temperature increases, then does the freezer or the temperature sensor in the freezer automatically detects the temperature, outside temperature more हो गया, so it has increased, so it should reduce the temperature on its own? That is not possible. So what are the parameters over there? So I just this is one screenshot. I'll run this program later on. So these are my parameters in regression analysis. What are the parameters? See there. What is my R square value? R square, right? So these are the three parameters which is generally measured. First the R square, second is MAE, second is MAC. Mean square error. So we can say that the square error, देखो error कितना है? Error is more. For this is for my this set of data. What is my y? X is this, and this is my y. See that this is my set of input. These are my inputs, and these are my outputs. So from these inputs only we can come to know whether there is a relationship between this linear relationship है कि नहीं. Input was 5, output predicted output is 3.5. Input was -1, predicted output is -0.9. 2, here it is okay. Here 10, 9.9. So that's why we are getting some error over here. Okay. So mean absolute error, mean square error, and then R square error. So these are some of the parameters for the machine learning algorithms which are using regression technique. Okay, then let us go to classification. So basically classifying the data into two sets, that is, or clustering the data, classifying the data. So this is basically classification. नाम ही देखो, नाम में सब कुछ है. Classifying the data, classification. Okay, so we are setting some boundary or some threshold value over here, so that we can have one set of data or one cluster of data on this side. We can classify green apples, we can classify red apples, and then we can put them in one group and all that, or one class. Okay, so generally K-means algorithm is used for this. This is one of the algorithm, K-means. We'll see the output of this also, K-means algorithm. So just imagine, now see here. So this is one cluster, this is another cluster, this third cluster. Okay, now here this third cluster is not properly defined. So if you apply K-means algorithm, so then we can get a data like this. What we have done, we have set the cluster ID. There are three cluster IDs, 0, 1, and 2. So this is for cluster, this is for cluster 0. The data is not proper, but in cluster 1, the data is properly arranged. Cluster 2, again, very compact data and all that. So now this can be the output of a temperature sensor. This can be the output of a level sensor. This can be the data from the, let's say, your humidity sensor, something like that. Okay. Right. Now this is the data. If you look at this, x-axis, I have plotted this for the two variables. One is the age and the second is the income. Age and the income group. Standard data table is there. Standard data is there. I use this for classification. Okay, so this is one classification algorithm. Okay, then similarly next one we are clustering also. So these are some of the algorithms in machine learning. Okay. Then now what parameters we estimate, or what parameters, or what will the output of these machine learning algorithms or the classification algorithms, or what parameters will plot or we should know. From that we can come to know the behavior of the your algorithm or the behavior of the data. So first parameter is my confusion matrix, right? If you just look at this confusion matrix, so these are the two sets of two rows are there, 2 by 2 matrices there. There the data is 3, this is 3, this 3, this is 1. So I got accuracy score to be 0.6, and these are some of the tables what we get. 0 is treated, 0 is 0, 0 is treated as 1, somewhere like that. So I'll explain this with the help of the algorithm. Okay, so these are some of the standard machine learning algorithms. Supervised, unsupervised. Supervised we have decision trees, NN, nearest neighbor, regression, classification. Unsupervised we have clustering, dimension reduction, association, right? So we have, these are the some of the machine learning algorithms. Okay. So let us run this or try to implement this for the IoT set of data. Now when we talk of the application, IoT applications, so this is one of the IoT application, right? For what set of data we can apply these machine learning algorithms. What we will do, let us have a look at this. This is a smart home response to user with a smartphone. The user has entered, right, this room. User with a smartphone enters the room, right? Second one, occupancy sensors are there. They will check presence and notifies. Right? Third one is the STB looks for user profile in his mobile device. वो check करेगा भाई अपना बंदा है कि नहीं है. Okay. Then if he is there, then STB adjusts the temperature and lighting level according to the user's preference and all that. Okay. Then this device can, now what data we are getting over here, let's say we want to sense the room temperature. So by using any, let's say Arduino or your Node MCU, we can sense the temperature of the room. When it's moving, right? If more people are entering this room and all that, the temperature in this room will change, right? The temperature will increase. If more number of people, again, if a crowd of data or the crowd of people enters this room, so let's say 20 people enter this room, again the temperature of the room will increase, provided it is a closed room and all that. So based on that, your machine learning algorithm should respond to the rise in the temperature of all. Then this is abstracted view of the machine learning. Load the data, pre-process the data, then supervise the data, then fit a model or form a model, and then based on that model means what? What we will do, we'll design a model. For example, let's say regression. So what we'll do, what will be the model? The model equation will be like this: y is equal to beta 0 1, beta 0 plus beta 1s plus epsilon. So my model will work on this, where x is the variable and y is the predicted output. Epsilon is the error, beta 0 is the constant, something like that. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll test the data. We'll अपने पास पहले हम लोग उसको train करेंगे and then we'll test. The based on the test data, then we'll do the prediction. Okay. So this is what is the basic view of your machine learning. Right. So abstract view of machine learning in short. Okay. Then what is the role of machine learning, deep learning for IoT security? Same thing. We can use either a machine learning algorithm or a deep learning algorithm for sensing the temperature, sensing the humidity in any application. So that application can be heterogeneous, it can be different, right? But our job is to how to use the machine learning algorithms for this. Then these are some of your ML based IoT security methods, right? So we'll discuss some of the machine learning algorithms for some set of data. So till now what we have done, we started with what is IoT, then types of IoT application, what are the problems with the IoT. Major thing is my IoT devices are very small, they are very tiny, बेचारे छोटे devices होते हैं, right? अभी and then they are mounted outside the perimeters, right? वो AC में बैठे नहीं होते, वो बेचारे क्या बोलते हैं उसको बाहर. For example, you can take the example of because see I always give this example whenever I travel to, let's say I'm going to Goa or Konkan. So once I reach the Konkan railway, that Konkan railway tunnel, so I always see at the on the hilltops over there. wireless sensor nodes has been mounted over there. Wireless sensor has been mounted by IIT Mumbai. With the help of the IIT Mumbai, this Konkan Railway has mounted the wireless sensors over there to detect the landslide and all that. Now just imagine that wireless sensor who is there facing the sun. That nowadays in December also we are having rainy season and all that, the feel of rains and all that. So basically वो बेचारे बंदे ओपन एयर में है वहाँ पर, दे आर सब कुछ झेल रहे हैं, धूप छाँव जो भी है वो. And then we are getting the data from this. They are lying or they have been placed outside the perimeter. There is no perimeter boundary over there. There is no protection to these IoT devices. Okay. Now to these devices, to such devices, we are talking about security. Now second thing is that we cannot update these devices. We cannot remove them from there. Some devices are mounted on top of, let's say, top of your building, and you want to remove it or you want to update it. It is not possible. जैसा हम लोग अपने लैपटॉप में या अपने मोबाइल में करते हैं ना अपडेट, that is possible, but for those wireless sensor networks it is not possible. So physically these are some of the problems, right? Now can we use machine learning algorithms for securing our IoT devices, or for machine learning, how can it be used for IoT devices? Okay, so my talk will revolve around this. So what is machine learning, right? So I tried my best to discuss in short what is machine learning, because machine learning is a vast topic, right? AI subset of AI is machine learning, and then the subset of machine learning is deep learning. So can we use deep learning algorithms for IoT? Can we use machine learning algorithms for IoT and all? Okay. Now till now, what people are doing, they are using this machine learning, or partly machine learning was used for IoT applications. But now people have, or the scientists are designed, or the engineers are designed something called as a tiny ML. Tiny ML. So by using this tiny ML, we can run the code, we can get the data, we can synthesize the data, we can apply the machine learning algorithms, we can download them, and we can store them now in the we can convert that into C code or the C++ code, and then it can be directly embedded into the microcontroller. So today I will be discussing that practically. I will be showing you that practically how it can be done and all that. So instead of talking all these theory terms and all that, let us jump on to the practical terms. Okay. So I will be using Anaconda for running my applications, right? So I have written some algorithms over here. Anaconda is every day I almost 10 to 15 times in a day I open this application, right? Jupyter. This it comes with Anaconda Navigator, Jupyter. By using the Jupyter, you can run your Python code. Python has made the things very simple, very easier for the programmers. Okay. So first we'll talk of the IoT. Sir, my screen is visible, right? No issues with the screen.
Sir, it's visible.
Yeah.
Sir.
So to avoid the time required for running the program, what I have done, I have already run it in background. So I'll show you the output. Okay. This is one. Second one was our linear regression, right? क्योंकि अभी मैंने बंद किया ना तो ये सब ये हो गया. Confusion matrix and classification report. Okay. So first what we'll do, we'll try to see what is the confusion matrix, and then how do you get the classification report and all that, and what is the meaning of this. Right. So when you talk about the regression, again I won't be going for the regression program over here. Regression algorithm जो भी अभी मैंने आपको जो आउटपुट दिखाया था ना, linear regression whether diabetes set. Okay, let us discuss that also. Right. So, okay. So participants, let us talk about what is linear regression. So first, what we'll do, we'll discuss some simple algorithms, machine learning algorithms, and then we'll go to the machine learning algorithm, the TinyML algorithm and all that. Right. So linear regression, as I told you just now. See, these are some of the libraries which I am importing over here. Matplotlib for plotting the data and all that. NumPy for that data arrangement. sklearn. This linear model is defined in that. Yes, I told you that linear model, we have to go for the linear model. So this linear model is defined. So I'm importing this from the sklearn. So these are some of the Python libraries. Okay. What is my data? My data is my standard diabetes data. Okay. Diabetes hai, nahi hai, wo sab data is. Then the relation between, so what I'm doing, I'm using this linear regression algorithm. Linear regression. So this algorithm is already defined in this Python. So I'm just using that. I'm just calling that algorithm. Okay. And then what I'll be plotting, because my regression, as I told you just now, regression is a continuous term, right? It is not discrete. So what? So when you talk of the discrete algorithm, so discrete algorithm में क्या आएगा? MAC आएगा, MAE आएगा, आपका variance आएगा, वो सब parameters will be there. So I'll simply run this. If I run this algorithm, so what I'll get an output like this. So what I want to print, I'll get this print. Already मैंने ये run किया हुआ है, so again I am not running this. So what are my errors? Now mean square error is this much, variance is this much, and these are my coefficients. This for what? This is for this diabetes set of data. Diabetes जो भी है वो मैंने load किया है, and then if you want, sorry, I not run it. So if you run it properly, so then you will get this type of output. Okay. So these are some of the, now just have a look at this. What is my MAC, what is the variance and all that. 41% variance is there. If you plot it, you'll get a graph like this. So this is the relation between the X and the Y. So this is my linear regression. Similarly, when we have some discrete or the classification, so when you have classification type of algorithm, that time what we do, we go for confusion matrix. So what is confusion matrix? To explain that, I have prepared these two variables over here. One is, this is my X, the other is my Y. 2 is there, true label is 2 and the predicted label is 2. So these are my true values and these are the predicted values. So if you just have a look at this, then 2, 2, but 0 is predicted as 1. 0 is my no or this false is treated as true. Similarly, false is treated as false here, like that. So based on that, we get a confusion matrix. So what will be the output? My output will be like this. Now either it is up to you, either you print this confusion matrix like this, right? So these call as a confusion matrix. Hope I am not going fast. And then if you play the classification type and all that, so you'll get this table. So where you'll get a precision, how precise is your algorithm and all that, right? What are the recall values? Then how much is the average accuracy? Accuracy around 80% and all that. This is one method. Second method is if my data is like this, 1 is treated as 1, 1 is treated as 0, 0 is treated as 1. So if you run this, then you will get an output like this. इस तरह से आपको output मिलेगा. Mean now see, if you look at this, then see how many ones are there. 1 is treated as 1. Here again 1 is treated as 1. Another 1 is treated as 1. So these are my true positive values. So there are 3 true positive values. So there are 4 terms over here: true positive, true negative, right? False positive and false negative. So based on that, we get the accuracy. देखो, accuracy is around 60%. So this is what people do in machine learning. तो आप बोलोगे सर ये तो data तो बहुत बड़ा है and all that, right? Then if I have data like this, as I told you, that if I have data like this, then I will get output like this. Mean square error is this much, MAC is this much, 56% error is there. Just if you look at just have a look at this data. 5 is predicted as 3.5, -1 is predicted as 0.9, right? Only one set of data is proper. 2 input था और 2 output है. आपका predicted भी 2 है. Okay. चलो. So these are some of the machine learning algorithms. Right. Now let us talk of this. Till now I explained 2 machine learning algorithms. One is regression. If you want, I can discuss the classification also. Classification or clustering algorithm, only output of that. और कुछ नहीं. Clustering IJKL clustering. Okay, clustering का ये algorithm है. What is my data now? Say just have a look at this. Okay, so which algorithm I am using? I am using K-means algorithm. ये सब standard होता है. Because again बहुत detail में जाऊँगा तो इतना time मुझे नहीं पूरेगा. It won't be sufficient. So I have only 20 to 25 minutes with me. So I'll just try to give you a flavor of this machine learning, and then machine learning and IoT. Okay, so this is what is machine learning. So whatever we are discussing right now, that is machine learning. So we can use this K-means. So K-means is generally used for clustering. So you can form a clusters like this. This cluster 1, cluster 2, cluster 3, cluster 4, like that. Okay, just hospital में होता ना, ward number 1, this is for non-corona patient, ward number 2, this is for corona patients, right? This is for heart patient, this is for diabetes patient, something like that. So we can do clustering. So means there the data will be different. So and the IoT devices which will be present here will be different. Suppose this is my corona ward. So in that corona ward, by default oximeter, temperature scanner, this thing has to be there. Then your oxygen machines, oxygen cylinders, all these parameters should be there. Ventilator should also be there. The ventilator is not a it is not a small device, but still. But here when you talk about the diabetes section, then you don't require that ventilator and all that over here. So this is how my data can be clustered and all that. You can form a cluster. This is my cluster head. Okay. So these are some of the applications. Machine learning algorithms. This is another output by using machine learning. Just have a look at this. What some set of data is there, right? From that we are predicting. अरे ये जो है ये 0 हो सकता है, ये जो है 1 है, something like that. That is what this algorithm, that K-means clustering algorithm is predicting. Just by just having a look at this, we can say that this is 1, this is 2, this is 0. Here the 7 is not visible. 7 is here, but 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 8 is not properly visible. So there is problem with the 8. There is a problem with the 7. अभी 7 है कि 8 है वो हमको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. So that is the accuracy. That is the problem. So that's why the accuracy is around 80%. Okay. So what I meant to say is there is something called as a machine learning. So machine learning is a subset of AI. In machine learning, we are different as an algorithm. By using this different as algorithm, we can process a large amount of data, very large amount of data, right? Now the data can be homogeneous or the data can be heterogeneous. Now with the problem with our IoT devices is that our data is not homogeneous, it is heterogeneous. For example, right, let us just have a look at this data. I'll share my data also. This is my, where's the data? Okay. So this is my data. Okay. अभी ये मेरा IoT data है. I'll just open this CSV file. What is there? This is the ID. This is the ID of my IoT. Okay. So number of IoT devices are there. They are measuring the temperature, the time, and then the value. So this parameter is my temperature. Okay. ID is 0. It is generating a temperature of 8.1, displaying, or it is transferring a data of at time 4:15 and all that. This is my data. ID1 data is 8.1. ID3 data is this much and all that and all that. Okay. So this is my data. Actually, my Excel file key, I converted this into a CSV file. Because in Python, we have to load on the Jupyter, we need a CSV file. So this is my IoT data. See, it is stored like this. A comma is there. Na? So this is basically a CSV format. So what is my data? My data is, okay. So what is our data? The data is IoT data. Basically the temperature detected and generated or sensed by number of temperature sensors, right? Okay. So just have a look at this. This is my data. So जो भी table में था ना data, what it was there in the Excel file, I converted this into a CSV file and then I am reading my Excel over here. ये जो भी मेरा Excel file था वो उसको मैंने read किया. I converted this into a PD form. PD is nothing but by using this NumPy. I am converting this, okay, and then I am reading this there. Some variables or the heads over here. Then I come to know these are my IDs 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number of IDs are there, right? A number of devices are there, and these are their IDs. So first 5 are displayed over here 0 to 4. Date देखो जो भी है 562019. अभी डेटा सेट रिसेंट का ही है. 5th June 2019 का डेटा is there. Time 4:15. The value is 8.1. So this is the temperature sensed by this ID number 1, or the sensed by the temperature sensor whose ID is 0 and all that. Okay. So then what I am doing, I am converting this into a date form. So just have a look at this. See how much data is there. My data memory usage is 1.7 MB. I just want to show this parameter. My memory usage is 1.7 MB. 1.7 MB is a very large amount of memory for my IoT device. Okay. Then if I am describing this, so what is the minimum temperature? What is the maximum temperature? You will come to know that the minimum temperature is in the range of 4.2. बराबर है. Count देखो कितना है 56570. 56,570 IDs are there, and from these 56,570 IDs, I have 56,570 values. So there is no null value over here. The mean of that is this much, 28284 and all that. Standard is this minimum temperature, or the minimum is here 0, and see the minimum temperature. Minimum temperature is around 4.2 to 4.5. Maximum temperature is around 45.2 degrees. Getting? So this is my IoT data. Okay. So if I plot this, I'll get a data like this. First 5 headers and all that. Okay. If I want to उसको जरा बहुत अच्छे से अगर मुझे प्लॉट करना है 1000 to 50,000, राइट. 56,000 IDs आर देना. देखो कितने IDs है 56,570. अगर मुझे उनको सबको प्लॉट करना है ऑन अ ग्राफ एंड ऑल दैट, आई एम यूजिंग दिस प्लॉट df.plot. So by using this I am defining कैसा होना चाहिए, ग्रिड होना चाहिए. देखो ग्रिड आ गया, वो जो भी है. X axis पे ID is there and Y axis I have my temperature values there. Okay, so these are the, so I can represent my data like this. This is what is the machine learning algorithm. Okay, so just have a look at now. See what is important. So what I'll do, I'll to minimize, to reduce the because my memory required over here is very large. कितना memory चाहिए 1.7 MB. So what I will do, I will remove the variables or the columns which are of no importance to me. Right, I'll remove the columns which are no importance to me. So what I'll do, I'll just drop them. What I'll do, I'll drop the time column. Right, I'll group them by date and mean. See here, date and the value. Timing नहीं चाहिए, ID भी नहीं चाहिए. So I just skip that. So what I'm doing, I'm plotting only date and the mean value. Value in mean, उसका जो भी है ना वो mean value plot point कर रहा हूँ. 15, 12, 18. This is the mean value. Something like this. 19, ये 7.8 ऐसा कुछ आपको मिल रहा है. Now my data is converted into 164 rows and 1 columns. Okay, ठीक है. So 56K data can be reduced to, now see, 2.6 KB data. So by removing these unwanted columns, I can reduce the memory usage. पहले कितना था MBs में था, now it is converted into KBs. So that is what is the application of my machine learning for IoT based applications. ठीक है. Then if you want to plot this, describe करना है, देखो plot करना है. So I am interested in this. So now just have a look at. अभी वो पूरा मैं explain नहीं कर सकता हूँ. I am very sorry about that. If you want, then we can have if these people allow next time machine learning and all that, HTTP on machine learning. So I'll be pleased to explain all this thing in detail and all that. खाली मैं अभी आपको खाली application बताना चाहता हूँ. Right. Now just have a look at this. This is I am using a random forest regression algorithm. By in this sklearn library, this random forest regression is specified. So this random forest is basically a machine learning algorithm. So by I am using that random forest regression, कौन सा normal regression नहीं है. Random forest regression basically it is a tree based regression. Tree based, जैसे tree होता है ना, binary tree 0 and 1. So by using this algorithm we can use the data. By using this we can do the prediction and all that. Right. So what I am doing, I am using this random forest to predict my data, and then I am finding the absolute error. तो absolute error देखो कितना है 3.07 degrees का error हमको मिल रहा है. I already run this. I am just showing the output. Okay. Now I want to find the error and all that. Error accuracy कितना है? Accuracy is around 82.91%. Getting? फिर now go for the prediction. Prediction is 17.28 and let me predict. क्या कर रहा हूँ मैं? Prediction date is 4/6/2019. On 4/6/2019, 162 ID number 162 has predicted a value of 7.55. Getting? Means by using this algorithm, I can predict that the mean value or the mean absolute error is this much. By using this random algorithm, I can predict on this day the temperature can be this much on your based on the history data. Getting? So this is one of the application where my machine learning, my IoT data can be used by using the machine learning algorithm can be used to can be used for doing some prediction around it. Getting? Okay. So if you summarize whatever we have discussed till now, if we just go back, so what we have done, because I have left with 15 minutes. Okay. So what we have done, we discussed what is IoT, problems with the IoT, then what are the solution to these IoT problems, then machine learning, what is machine learning algorithm, what is machine learning and all that. Machine learning has n number of algorithms and all that. Out of that, we discussed the regression and the classification, and then I just show you the outputs of this machine learning algorithm by using the by using your Anaconda and all that, okay, or by using Python and all that, right? Now अभी आप बोलोगे यहाँ तक तो ठीक था. Then the last application, I just show you the output because I want to be more practical over here. See, there are two methods of doing the presentation. One is I discuss all the theory things, blah 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 blah, right? And then I say back up, thank you guys and all that. Okay. Then second thing is I don't want to be practical, theoretical over here. I just want to show what is the application of the. यानी output आता है, ऐसा आता है, but सच में आता है क्या? देखो ऐसा आता है. This is the set of data. Just imagine, just have a look at this. कितना memory लग रहा है? 1.7 MB. कितना entries are there? 56,570 entries are there. Means 0 to 56569. With these many number of temperature sensors are there, and they are detecting the temperature and they are sending the data. So just imagine the data generated by 56,000 or 57k IoT devices, and then we have to find the mean of that, and then we want to predict what will be the temperature on this day and all that. So in that case, we cannot use the normal algorithms. So we are using a spatial machine learning algorithm. Getting? So what I have a large amount of data. So I am processing that large amount of data. मेरे Excel sheet में data था, मैंने उसको CIC format में convert किया. फिर machine learning algorithm, which algorithm I use? Random forest algorithm. पहले तो मैंने data लिया, data को clean किया, उसमें not null value, कोई value null तो नहीं है, empty तो नहीं है, वो हमने check किया. उसके बाद में उसको machine learning algorithm apply किया. Then we come to know that the accuracy of the machine learning, ये सब अभी ये तो presentation style है. जैसा डेटा आपका है ना, ऐसा दिखाओगे तो पब्लिक लगे ओ वाओ मैन, ऑसम मैन, समथिंग लाइक दैट. ये इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. टेक्निकल पर्सन क्या करेगा? टेक्निकल पर्सन विल जस्ट हैव लुक एट दिस. वो पहले एमबी में डेटा था, मैंने कुछ पैरामीटर्स या कुछ कॉलम मैंने रिमूव कर दे विच आर अनवांटेड, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज ऑप्टिमाइजेशन. सो यू कैन ऑप्टिमाइज माय एल्गोरिथम, राइट, और आई कैन ऑप्टिमाइज माय डेटा. सो बाय यूजिंग दैट मेरा जो मेमोरी स्पेस था वो 2.6 KB हो गया. एमबी में जो डेटा मुझे लग रहा था, मेमोरी लग रहा था, अभी वो KBs में, बिकॉज आई हैव मेमोरी कंस्ट्रेंट. सो वी आर अचीव्ड दैट. अपना वो एक टारगेट अचीव हो गया. देन बाय यूजिंग दिस रैंडम फॉरेस्ट एल्गोरिथम एंड ऑल दैट, सो वी हैव सम ट्रेनिंग डेटा एंड द टेस्ट डेटा, राइट. पहले हमने ट्रेन किया, ट्रेन करके उसके ऊपर डेटा को टेस्ट किया. कौन सा एल्गोरिथम यूज किया? रैंडम फॉरेस्ट. रैंडम फॉरेस्ट क्या होता है? बेसिकली डिसीजन ट्री एल्गोरिथम. ओके. सो सम मशीन लर्निंग एल्गोरिथम यूज करके एब्सोल्यूट एरर हमने फाइंड किया, इतना एरर, बट एक्यूरेसी देखो कितना है. वी कम टू नो दैट एक्यूरेसी ऑफ दैट एल्गोरिथम और दैट by using that algorithm we got an accuracy of 82%. Right. You want to predict something. अभी मुझे क्या प्रेडिक्ट करना है? ओके, ये जो एरे है उसमें से मैं प्रेडिक्ट कर रहा हूँ. तो प्रेडिक्ट क्या कर रहा हूँ? 462,019 का जो टेम्परेचर था वो कितना था भाई, कितना होगा वो प्रेडिक्ट कर रहे. तो वी गॉट अ वैल्यू लाइक दिस. सो बाय यूजिंग मशीन लर्निंग वी कैन डू द प्रेडिक्शन ऑल्सो. ओके, राइट. सो अभी ये सब हो गया. नाउ वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ, टिल नाउ वी टॉक अबाउट मशीन लर्निंग. Now let us talk of tiny machine learning, right? So what is tiny machine learning? As I told you just now, we can run the applications either by using that Jupyter, that is my Anaconda, or you can run these applications on cloud also. Okay, you can run the applications on cloud also. So I'm using Colab, Google Colab, cloud by Google, for running my machine learning algorithms. Just believe me, I teach this to my students also. Okay, I teach this to the faculties in my this training programs as well as. Okay, so what I am going to discuss today. Now see, this is my. I have moved from my laptop to the cloud. Okay, so how cloud can be used for IoT devices, all that can, I think Bhushan sir might have discussed it, or if not, I'll just again add on this to the that application. So what is my data? This is my application. Sine wave, some data is there. So this is my Google Cloud. So by using this Google Colab, I can run my IoT application. So what I'm doing, I'm using a tiny machine learning. So what is my tiny machine learning? अभी तक आपने देखा था कि what algorithms I use, they are all huge algorithms. My data is small. My data may be large, heterogeneous data is there, but my memory is small. So can I use a machine learning algorithm for processing the data, large amount of data, and then can I get a summary of that so that I can embed that code into my microcontroller? Getting? Organizers, I may need another 10 minutes. I'm very sorry for that. Okay, so I'll try my best to finish in my assigned time only, but still. Okay, so guys, let us just have a look at this. What is this? I'm using a TensorFlow. What is TensorFlow? Again, by using this, either you can use a Keras or you can use a TensorFlow. So by using this TensorFlow, you can run your machine learning algorithms. So importing TensorFlow as TF and all that, वो सब NumPy, वो सब same thing. I'm using this Keras. This is another library. This Keras has layers and all that. So what I'm doing now, I'm running a neural network algorithm. My data is some sine wave data, and then I'll show you that how this data can be embedded into a microcontroller. Okay, now just I already run this, right? So just have a look at this. If you run it, इस तरह से run होता है वो. If you run it, ये move होते रहेगा. उसके बाद में it will stop. Once it stops, then हमको पता चलेगा कि भाई हो गया इसका. It is already there. Okay, I will have to run this. So I'm running one application, machine learning algorithm. See this. I selected TensorFlow 2.x. TensorFlow 2.x is generally used for tiny machine learning. And then these are the settings. How many samples are there? 5,000 samples are there. Ratio, value ratio is this. Test ratio is 0.2. Means what? Test ratio means what? There is one set of data. I can have a test set and a training set. Test set and training set, 80% training and 20% testing. So this is done. Generate some random samples. I'm generating some random samples. See cloud में देखो कितना फटाफट रन होता है. So this is my data. Okay. If I reduce this number 5,000 का अगर मैं 500 करूँगा तो ये इतना डार्क नहीं रहेगा. So this is my data. I have just plotted this over here. Then create a noise. Just have a look at the sine wave. So I'm getting this. This is my sine wave. Okay. So this one data, which is that data is now in a sinusoidal form. Okay. I'm plotting x and the y. So I'm plotting x with respect to y. Okay. Then I'm using the training and testing. Okay. So this is my train set. Blue is my train data. Red is my test data, and then this whatever this color I'm getting, that is my validation. So I'm selecting this different colors for that. So one is for train, RGB, blue, red, and then yellow and all that. Okay, RYB basically. Y is for validation. So this is my validation set. I have to validate my data also. Okay, then I'm creating a model. What model I am creating? I am creating a neural network model, sequential neural network model. So model I am selecting. Okay, वो मुझे आपको यहाँ पे पता चलेगा. So I'm selecting a deep learning model over here. Okay, model I have selected. See how many dense layers are there. When you talk about the model, CNN model and all that. So we have some layers inside that. Basic आपको AI का पता होगा. Deep learning, what we do, we basically use the AI technique. So we have input side and then the output side. But in the input and the output, we have some black box. So in that black box, we have some hidden layers. So by using these hidden layers, we are processing the data. It's just like अपना जो एक्वागार्ड होता है ना, उस तरह से जितना ज़्यादा उसका कीमत रहेगा उतना ज़्यादा उसमें फिल्टर्स आपके रहेंगे. Now see, just have a look at this. How many parameters are there? 321 parameters are there. 32 dense. देखो dense 1, dense 2 ऐसे कुछ है. So these are the parameters. Again, okay. Testing and training. I just want to show you how many epochs are there. For running this, आपको कितने बैच साइज कितने का किया, मैंने 100 का बैच साइज बनाया, जस्ट हैव लुक एट दिस। अब ये गूगल, अब मैं क्लाउड पे रन करो, इससे इतना फटाफट हो रहा है, 500 सैंपल्स आर देयर, और देखो कितना फटाफट हो रहा है। अगर वही अगर मैं लैपटॉप पे करता था ना, तो वो वो 3 मिलीसेकंड का एक स्टेप है, देखो वो मुझे वहाँ पे 15 मिनट लगता था, यहाँ पे फटाफट हो जाएगा। एंड आई एम गेटिंग द एक्यूरेसी ऑल्सो एंड MAE ऑल्सो। जस्ट हैव लुक एट दिस, MAE goes on reducing as the number of epochs increases, right? Epoch means the number of iterations. As the number of epochs increases, my MAE reduces, right? It again depends on the what set of data you are there. Okay, तो जैसा इलेक्शन काउंटिंग में होता है ना, ये आगे वो पीछे, तो कभी MAE कम होता है, कभी MAE ज़्यादा होता है. So that depends on what set of data is coming over there. Now just have a look at this. MAE is 0.09. लॉस देखो कितना है, 0.09. Okay, 3 milliseconds per step. एक स्टेप के लिए 3 milliseconds. So 30 epochs has run. Okay, now let us plot this. This is my training, right? This is my train loss and this is my validation loss. So training and validation are almost same. जैसा मैंने डेटा को ट्रेन किया उसी तरह से मेरा वैलिडेशन हो रहा है. Now plot the predicted output. See, comparison of prediction to actual values. Actual value ये था, predicted output ये देखो, almost same है. ये actual देखो कैसा है, और actual के बीच में मुझे एक, because I am using a deep learning algorithm, see my prediction. The prediction is exactly lying at the center. So my accuracy is very high. That is what is the meaning of this. Okay, now you are using a Keras model to convert it to something of that our microcontroller can use. अभी देखो यहाँ पे क्या था, ये मेरा डेटा है, 5000 samples are there. Okay, then number of epochs you have done. Now what we'll do, we will use the tiny model. So see here, you convert Keras model to a TF Lite model. This is what is my ACE technology. By using this tiny machine learning algorithm or tiny ML, I can convert my machine learning data into a C code, convert the Keras model to a TF Lite mode. So when I run this, I am converting this to a lighting mode. अभी देखो इसमें कितना हो गया, 2896. 2896. See, this property should not be used, and all the instruction for updating. How many there? 2896 codes is there. पहले कितना था, इतना था, किधर गया, right? Loss, accuracy, and just have a look at this. इतना मेरा डेटा है जो मुझे सेंसर से मिल रहा है. Okay, just have a look at this. How many parameters are? 321 parameters are there, and this is what is my data. Okay. Okay, right. So what we'll do now? अभी तक क्या किया हमने मशीन लर्निंग, सॉरी डीप लर्निंग एल्गोरिथम यूज किया with 2 hidden layers and all that, and then we got the output like this. So this is my actual value and this is the predicted value. So almost see the efficiency is very high, the accuracy is very high. Starting का अगर आप देखोगे, ये साइन में देखो, train data, test data, and then the validate data. So this is my training set, the red is my testing set. Now when I applied this algorithm, sequential algorithm over here, I got output like this. पहले पूरा it was distributed na. Now after executing this, right, I got output like this. Just imagine this, train data, actual data, and my prediction data. Predicted data is more precise, it is exactly at the center, so I am getting almost sine wave over here. So my prediction is really high, it is matching with the actual data, and then means what, my accuracy is very high. Now what is the use of this? Because this is a large amount of data, I cannot use this, I cannot run this and my microcontrollers. What I will do, I will convert this data into a C code. So by using this, I am converting this into a C code. Return CSTR by using this TF Lite model to a C source code. अभी मेरे पास में अभी microcontroller all that is not there right now. I have not interfaced that, but we can convert this TF Lite by using this TF Lite model. We can convert this into a C source code, which can be interfaced or which can be directly downloadable into your microcontroller. Microcontroller is nothing but it can be Arduino, right? It can be your Raspberry Pi and all that. Okay, so these are some list of the ML based IoT security methods and all that, where this DOS attack is DOS. Neural network can be used for that. Multivariate correlation analysis can be used. SVM can be used for spoofing. Intrusion के लिए you can use the SNV algorithm, SVM algorithm. You can use NV also, KNN also for intrusion detection, all that. For malware, we can use random forest. Just now we use. We can use the KNN algorithm for malware. For use dropping, you can use Q learning and all that one. But till now, we are talking only of the machine learning algorithms. But can it be interface on a small device? Yes, now that is possible. By using this TinyML, we can convert your code, that Python code, into a C source code, so that we can directly deploy it on our IoT, or you can directly deploy it on your Arduino or your Raspberry Pi and all that. The same thing, DT, this is my decision tree. Decision tree used for what? Detection of intrusion, suspicious traffic sources. Number of applications are there. Only thing is that till now, people are talking of only edge-based IoT and all that, right? And then this is authentication. This is how their ML-based, machine learning-based malware detection can be done and all that. But I'm running out of this time and all that. So NN for IoT security. This is what just now we have done. I have a large amount of data over here. This is my input layer, and what I have done, I use two hidden layers over there, and for using this output layer, I have displayed the output over there. तो जो भी output मुझे मिल रहा था, वो मैंने actual data and the predicted data was very high. They were matching. Predicted data was matching with the actual data and all that. The actual data was slightly distributed, but the predicted data I got the actual output. Predicted output was matching with the actual set of data. So that is the advantage of using your NN for IoT security and all that. Similarly, you can use GAG. So CNN can also be used for IoT security. Now the CNN, ये सब GAN, ये सब आपके deep learning algorithms है. So again, I will not go into the details of that. ML-DL implementation can also be done. Okay. Challenge and limitations of DL and ML. These are some of the challenges. Deep learning algorithms, one size doesn't fit all. That is the problem with the deep learning. Neural networks are basically black boxes. Long conversion time. अभी आपने देखा, मैंने run किए हुए programs ही आपको दिखाया, output direct दिखाया. If I run this on my laptop, right? So it could have taken 10 to 15 minutes. जो application मैंने आपको Google Colab पे run करके दिखाया, वो फटाफट 3 मिलीसेकंड का एक स्टेप था. 50 सेकंड, जस्ट इमेजिन. ऑन क्लाउड इट वाज टेकिंग 3 मिलीसेकंड. तो अगर मैं लैपटॉप पे रन करता था, तो इट कुड हैव बीन इन द रेंज ऑफ 20 milliseconds and all that. So just imagine how much time I would have required to run that application. So that is the advantage of using cloud and all that. तो मैंने अभी कुछ application using Jupyter मैंने आपको run करके दिखाया, and one application I directly run it on the cloud. So I can say that cloud can be used for IoT security and all that, for processing the data. Data collection is the problem, proximity effect is the problem. These are some of the challenges. Conclude. IoT security and privacy are of paramount importance and all that and all that. Traditional security and private solutions suffer from a number of issues. Yes, the problem say you can use ML-DL for improving the security and all that. These learning techniques can support self-organizing operations and also optimize the overall system performance. These learning techniques are inherently distributed and do not require centralized communication between devices and controllers. So before going for any discussion, just winding up, let us summarize what I discussed today. The topic given to me was IoT and machine learning, relation between basically IoT and machine learning. So I started with IoT, what is IoT and all that, because IoT is also part of my discussion. So what is IoT, the problems of the IoT का types, application types and all that, 5 types क्या होते हैं, why these problems are there with the IoT devices, बेचारे छोटे होते हैं, नन्हे मुन्ने से होते हैं. That is the major problem of these IoT devices. So they have memory constraint, right? They don't use the security mechanism, is very weak and all that. So how can you overcome the security issues and all that? तो उसके लिए हमने देखा hard root testing should be there, authentication proper होना चाहिए, ये होना चाहिए, वो होना चाहिए, वो सब हो गया. लेकिन ये जो भी IoT devices है, we don't rely on only one IoT device, ना? There are n number of devices. Just imagine, just take the example of the security cameras. Okay, जैसा मेरा society का example ले हुए, तो I have 200 cameras, IP cameras in my society. So just imagine the amount of data generated by these 200 cameras. अभी एक society में 200 cameras are there. If you talk of Mumbai region and all that, just imagine thousands of cameras are there. Getting? So then that becomes the issue. So heterogeneity is the problem with the IoT devices. And second problem is very large amount of data. So whenever we have large amount of data, then machine learning algorithms can be used. Till now, machine learning का problem क्या था? Machine learning requires large amount of data to run and all that. उसको बहुत memory लगता था and all that. But now Google has come with the TinyML. So by using this TinyML and TensorFlow, we can my data can be very large. 57,000 sets of data can be there. But by using machine learning algorithm, I can do the pre-processing of the data, right? I can convert that data. I can apply the deep learning algorithm to the data, and then I can predict the accuracy and all that. Now the thing is that can I run this? Laptop पे तो ठीक है, cloud पे तो ठीक है, but can I run this on my IoT device? Yes, now it is possible. So what you can do, you can convert that code, machine learning code, into a C code, C source code, and then you can embed that into your microcontroller, and then you can run it. Right? So everything is possible. So you can use this deep learning. Not only machine learning, you can convert a deep learning, my data based in deep learning, and then we can embed it on our microcontrollers or on our IoT devices. Yes. Thanks a lot. Thanks for patiently listening.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful and practical oriented session. There is one question from the participants is, which machine learning algorithm is suitable for healthcare IoT devices?
Yeah.
When you talk about healthcare IoT applications, yeah.
See, when you talk about the healthcare, for example, nowadays wearable watches are there, right? So वो आपका जो smart watch होता है, उसमें number of parameters can be tested or sensed by that. It senses your body temperature, आपका BMI index, then how much calorie you have put on, how much calorie, suppose you are running, how many steps you are run, how much calorie you have burnt and all that. So for this, small algorithms are there. But machine learning algorithm is generally used for when you have large set of data. Okay. अभी इसमें क्या होता है? We are limited resources are there. When you talk of the high healthcare application, for example, when you आपको temperature का machine learning is that it requires a homogeneous set of data. So we can use as I told you that how is the relation between your input variable and the predicted output? Is there a linear relation? If there is a linear relation, then go for regression. If there is a discrete relation, then go for classification. So it depends on what set of data you are generating and all that. So for example, if you are sensing the temperature of the room and all that, so then we have linear relationship. So in that case, you can go for regression, right? If you are talking of the clustering, the clustering use करना है, and if you want to detect that, suppose one patient has arrived, okay, in a hospital, and you want to check what type of disease he is having and all that. Just take the pandemic period. Just go back to April or May month. Just take the example of your nearby hospital and all that. Okay, what do you do? So, अरे ये patient है, क्या problem है? He is having some cold. He is having some cold problem, and then his temperature is also there. So in that, अरे COVID है, उसको वो last floor, ऊपर वाले floor पे भेज दो. In that case, then there comes the temperature, then you're measuring the oxygen level of that person or all that. So it depends on the application. So generally, classification and the regression algorithms are generally used till now. But now people are using deep learning algorithms also, as I showed you just now. Practically it is possible. इसलिए मैंने आपको practically दिखाया कि deep learning को how deep learning algorithm can be used for IoT based data. That was the healthcare data only. 56,000 ID devices were there. वो 56,000 IDs से temperature जो आ रहा था उसको हमने process करके by using the deep learning algorithm we have converted this into a C code.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Please accept a small memento as a token of appreciation from us. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Sorry, it is 3:25, so I'm very sorry that I extended my session by 10 minutes.
No, it's okay.
Who is the next speaker? Just.
Yes, Abhay sir. Sir, he's joining at 3:30. The next session is on 3:30.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
So please accept my hearty. Okay, please accept my sincere thanks for inviting me for this third session, continuously third session, I think. Yes, this is the third session only. So thanks a lot to Swati ma'am, Shubhangi ma'am, Smita Bansod ma'am, Chetan Mahajan, and Manya Gidwani.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. So I'll leave now.
Yes, sir.